for example 1, it wants me to solve the system using the substitution method. So here's my system. It has two equations. The first equation is y equals 6x minus 11. And the second equation is negative 2x minus 3y equals negative 7. To use the substitution method, that implies that you are going to substitute in something for a variable. So we need to look and see which system, or which equation in the system is already solved for a letter. And if it's not, we need to solve for a letter. So if you look at y is by itself, so that means it is solved already. So y equals 6x minus 11. All right, that is very important that we look at the whole thing. The whole thing is 6x minus 11. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute 6x minus 11 for y in the second equation. So that means I'm actually going to take this second equation, this one right here, and I'm going to replace y with 6x minus 11. So let me show you how we do that. We're going to take the equation, and it's going to be negative 2x minus 3, and then I'm going to leave a space. I'm no longer going to have a y. I am substituting in for y, so that means the y is going to go away, and it's going to then have negative 7. So I have my equation, the second one, and instead of y, I'm going to replace it with something. And we said that something was going to be 6x minus 11. That's the basic idea for substitution. You replace one letter. So now look, I have two x's. I have no other variable. That helps me because now I can solve for a variable. So what we're going to do is now we're going to solve for x. In order to do that, I got to get rid of these parentheses. So we're going to distribute. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18x. Negative 3 times negative 11 is positive 33. We bring down the negative 2x, and that equals negative 7. Now, we are going to continue solving for y. Here we have combined like terms, negative 2x minus 18x. Negative 2 minus 18 is negative 20, and keep the x. Bring down the plus 33 because we haven't done anything that with, and we get negative 7. All right, so we're going to continue solving. So I have my x alone now. There's no other x's, so that means I need to get rid of my non-x term on this side. So that means we're going to minus the 33 to each side. All right, so we get negative 20x. And then if I do negative 7 minus 33, these are both the same sign, so I add them. We keep the negative, and we get 40. Now we're going to divide by negative 20, just our basic solving for x skills. So we get that cancels out, leaving me with x equals, and then if we look, negative 40 divided by negative 20, negative turns positive. 40 divided by 20 is 2. So now that we know that x equals 2, we are going to take the second equation, and now we're going to substitute in 2 for x in either equation. But I'm actually going to pick y equals 6x minus 11 because it already has y solved for. So now we're going to take y equals 6x minus 11, and we're going to replace that, the x, with 2. So I'm going to have a 2 here in place of x. We're going to keep the y equals and the 6 times 2 minus 11 the same. 6 times 2 is 12 minus 11. 12 minus 11 is 1. So y equals 1. So since we know that x equals 2 and y equals 1, we can actually state our answer as the point 2 and 1. And that is our answer. So the solution is 2, 1.